Welcome back. This is Noob Lair, EA Hinnom's multiplayer game of Dominions 5. This is turn 9. Your Miyahu discovers 2 new sites. This is my Jim Bloodhound. He found the Castle Arcanum a turn or two ago, moved to this site, finds 2 new sites. The triple expansion turn. Here we have Balhadad in the Wastelands, fighting some lizards, and this lizard's got some juicy prizes on him. He's got a vine whip, he's got a totem shield, helmet. I really want the Hydra skin body armor, but really any of these gear would be nice to start off with. Doing a bunch of mind burns, better than being cursed, but smacking that lizard is going to give my guys curses anyway. You always want to expand into lizards with generic guys that you don't mind getting cursed. You don't want to send thugs or super combatants because there's no way to remove a curse. And once you're cursed, you're going to pick up afflictions. This guy's cursed. This guy's cursed. They're not long for the world when that happens. More curses. Everyone that swung on him had a chance of getting cursed, and a lot of them failed their checks. Alright, so this is my prophet taking an army into the cavemen. Cavemen see in the dark a little bit better than my troops. My troops are at -3 for fighting in a dark cave. Cavemen have dark vision, so they only take half the penalty. It's rounded down, so demons, undead, people with spirit sight see perfectly well in the darkness. Taking heavy attrition against these garbage cavemen because of the darkness stat debuff. We do our job. For the next expansion, we have a generic indie commander on hold 5 times with a block of infantry on hold and fire up in the top corner. Javelins are the kings of expansion. You can kill several indies just on the approach, or wherever they really get to swing back. So bloodless there. Took a lot of attrition there. And will take a lot of attrition here based on the curse. Now I did end up with that totem shield, so that's a nice pickup. I wish I could have gotten more of the guy's gear, but we'll take what we can get. Now I run Misfortune 1, so I get a lot of these little events pop up. Got these false prophets just coming out of the woodworks, man. And I don't remember addressing this guy soon enough, so he just kept my Dominion out of Troll Peaks for a long time. So I'm friends with Caleb. The prophet has run out of room to expand. I don't believe he can take the throne at the time. So he's going to gather up here with a force to finalize the border. And the generic indies are dropping off troops. These guys might as well just have taxi written on their foreheads. They're just going to deliver troops to him, and he's going to lead the expansion into the Lava Born. Now Balhadad is going to take his cursed brethren here and clean up the interior of my empire. Now I've decided I'm going to go to war with Pangaea. Forgers are now producing swordsmen for their slashing damage as opposed to spearmen with their piercing damage. This is because their target won't be heavily armored. Really want to cause afflictions. Research paths. I'm continuing with alteration, and this is for self-buffing Melquarts, Body Ethereal, Iron Skin, Temper Flesh, whatever starts them on their journey to become the super combatants I will be. Going to Conjuration for Phoenix Power, Earth Power, and Dark Knowledge. And I'll go to Evocation 3 for Astral Projection. So it's a remote site searching spell for Astral, remote site searching spell for Death, and then I want to start getting gear for Melquarts. So still recruiting armies there. I decide I want a thug, so I buy one of these guys. Now these guys can random 2 in one of these elemental paths, and if they ever double up on the path, then you have the starter set for a decent thug. If they go cross path, not so much. But you get the wizards for the research, you get these guys for thugs. These wizards are adept researchers, and one of these guys is actually a better deal than 2 of these armies researching. Alright. Welcome back to turn 10. So this is Balhadad expanding with his cursed troop into some Indies. I'm expecting to take some casualties here. I'm vastly outnumbered, and having seen that lizard curse so many of my poor guys, I'm just expecting to take heavy losses. They are only human, and these are the more heavily armored variant of javelins. Well, Hadad doesn't have the powers of a prophet, but he can get in there and mix it up and get his hands dirty. He's killed 3 of them himself. He got his nifty totem shield. So I sent the scout into the Bat province to see what Niflheim was doing. Niflheim's expanding with some javelins. Very efficient little expansion, even in the dark. Can't fault that. And just some more Misfortune 1 shenanigans. Alright, so we have no good intel on Niflheim at this point. He didn't bless himself. I have no idea what his bless is. Thinking he scales at this point. I did get a crosspath warrior mage, so he's not going to live the life of the thug I wanted him to be. So instead, he's going to be a site searcher for water, since I don't have a whole lot of access to it. He's going to ferry troops up to this province where Balhadad will pick him up, finish up my border here. The mercenaries dropped this time, the fishermen, so finally I have something aquatic that I can take this pond with if I win the bid. We're coming up on the close of year 1's turn 10. Do a province count. 5, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 provinces. Going for 15. Research remains unchanged. Switching back to wizards. I don't want to recruit too many of these guys to have them fail to be proper thugs. All right. On to turn 11. Prophet's army taking on the Lavaborn in the darkness, but this time we have 3 armies all gathered together as one big one. Overwhelming numbers. Look at the javelins. This is why they're the king of expansion. It's just the heavy toll those guys took before the lines ever met. Why our casualties were so light. You guys hit like a truck. I actually want to build some of these guys out for their heat aura as I'm going into war with Pan. Pan has a lot of nature magic and they can do a lot of bark skin shenanigans. Well, this is more likely to set them on fire. So this is something where their nature magic becomes a liability. These guys just hit like absolute trucks, and they're smaller. If I can get 3 of these guys per square, hitting 24, that's better than my swordsman. So I definitely will try to make some special forces out of those guys. I actually had a good event here. I'll trade 110 population for 25 resources permanent. That population will regrow, but those resources will remain the whole time. I did win the bid for the fishermen, so I am planning to take that province. Balhadad takes Norag's troops. Norag does a site search and takes the shield. I'm building a Melquart, and with no other gear, I want to give that shield to the Melquart. So Balhadad's going to try to finish this up. And Azrael, he's just trying to get the snow out of my lands. I want to move him here. I want to heat this place up. So if I go to war with Niflheim, that they can't cross this frozen river. If I can put heat on this side with the end of winter coming, he's not going to be able to cross. And I just want to limit a potential war and potential invasion from Niflheim. I knew he had a big force here. Wanted to make sure that that force backed off of our border. If he decided to invade here, I wanted to cut him off, and I didn't want him to have easy access to just whatever provinces. So I send my scout in there. I'm planning a war with Niflheim, but first, one war at a time. We're going to take on Pan first. So I'm talking with Pan. I'm moving my troops away from the border. This is to give him a false sense of security. The war is always going to be there. I've got Ulm ending a nap with him right now, so the countdown timer has gone. It's coming up to where Ulm can invade too, and we're just gonna smack him simultaneously. Now, I want him to have most of his troops on Ulm's side, so I'm pulling my expansion down. He's ended a nap, so Pangaea knows war with Ulm is coming, so his troops should be moving there. I want to hit as undefended a province as possible, so I'm giving him a sense of security. I ask him, when is he going to take these lizards? He says that his agreement with me for him to have the lizards means that he should be able to take them at his leisure. And I say, yes, that's right, absolutely. But it's worth a lot of gold. Can I go ahead and take it and then just give it to you when you're ready for it? He agrees. I said, well, okay, don't take it for 3 turns and it'll be worth it for me. He agrees. So this is all to get my army within striking distance of his cap without him suspecting it. I want to be in his cap circle before he knows that he's at war with me. So we'll have an army on his border that he's expecting and feel safe about. Bunch of Spirehorns show up here, and I start talking to Caleb. Hey, what are those bird guys doing? We're still friends, right? Confirms that our nap stands and that he was just cleaning up some barbarians I hadn't noticed had taken his province. All right, let's do the next turn. It's turn 11, and I had started a Melquart. They take 2 turns to build. Let's do turn 12. Oh, wrong game. Continue. All right. Hey, look at that. Norag found a site. The dormant gods are waking up, but I went imprisoned, so no luck for me there. I'm starting to lose some crippled guys. Let's see how it went in the Broken Ocean with the Mercs. I bid 168 for these guys, 176, 178, something like that. So this province will take a long time to pay itself off if they even win it. But I like clean borders. And knowing that there's no one around to contest me for this for a while gives me a nice safe feeling. And they do win it. So here's the Spires of Ascension. This is Balhadad's force against the Deer Tribe, and this cleans up all of my actual expansion before the Lizard Man subterfuge. Deer Tribe aren't particularly threatening. And this puts Balhadad in the Hall of Fame. Let's take a look at the Hall of Fame. Alright, we have my prophet here, and he's definitely the killiest guy here. Now we have Balhadad. Now, Hajuk is doing the same kind of thing as Balhadad. He's running around with troops. That might have even been the guy we saw take out the bats. I'm uncertain. And then Brock, this is more like a prophet. So Brock is probably his prophet. Looks like Caleb lost his. Ulm's got one. Pangaea's got one. And then the rest are mercs. Alright. So Skiros, the taxi, should be going back for... Oh, he's invading too. Alright, so Skiros is a backup commander in case something really unfortunate happens to Tim. Inyalos is bringing up more troops. And no troops are being produced here. I've run out of money this turn and I don't know why. I don't have infrastructure that I can find going up this turn. You have the Melquart there, and I've got a bunch of these spears. I went with the lighter spears again. I think the bulk of this army is gonna take it, but they'll be far enough away from my expansion that I need something that has map move 2 to reinforce it for sieging purposes. So even though the swordsmen are going to be better for fighting what I think are satyrs, I need numbers, and these guys will be the only ones that can catch up in time. Norag, now that he's found the lantern fence, he's done a good job. The water site, but it doesn't give me a water gem. I'm really looking for some water gems to make this guy's life worthwhile. So he's bringing the shield to a lab so that the Melquart can use it. At this time, I'm buying an eye shield from Ulm as well. So Ulm is going heavy into construction. So Bloodhound here, searching another province. Got a lava lake giving me a little bit of water. Caves typically have a lot of magic sites, so that is why he skipped over this province on his little tour. Thank you, and I will see you next time, guys.